All right, everyone, I'm going to do a video on this Canik Mete MC9, the issues that people are having with it. It's a great gun. I bought this for my wife so she can carry. She has small hands. This gun is amazing, fits awesome, perfect in her hands. Comes with a little extended magazine here. But anyways, I'm going to do a video on an issue that people are having failure to go into battery mode. So, first of all, let me clear it. Magazine's out. Okay, here we go. Slide back. Locked. Nothing in there. Okay. Safe direction. Boom. There it is. Okay. Magazine is out. No ammo in there. Okay, so now I need to rack this slide so we can show you the issue. So what's happening is when we're at the shooting range, my wife and I went out today and my daughters, and we were shooting it, and it started happening, the issue. So what happens is you're firing off rounds, and then all of a sudden you pull the trigger. It's a dead trigger. Nothing will happen. It's not that the gun is jamming, you know, it feeds fine, but it's a dead trigger, which means when you pull the trigger, nothing happens. So what happens is, see this slide right here? That's what's happening. That slide is hanging back right here. So when you pull the trigger, it goes forward. Do you see that go forward? So slide gets stuck up or hung up. When you pull the trigger, it goes forward, nothing happens. Then you have to eject around in order to get it to go. So there's a video that a gunsmith, I forgot his name, but a gunsmith had made a video on this, on what to do. He did it, worked perfect. So I'm going to show you guys what I did, what he did. Now I haven't taken it to the firing range yet, the gun range, so I'm not sure if it is going to fix the issue, but it fixed it for him. So I'm pretty confident that it's going to fix the issue. So let me clear this, and I'm going to take the gun apart. Okay, so to take it apart, you just need to pull this back, pull these two tabs down hard. This comes up and should come out right there like that. There we go. Okay, so I'm not going to mess with anything here. When you clean it, you want to take the spring off. And I had, like I said, we went to the gun range today, and I cleaned the whole entire pistol. But now I'm going to show you what needs to be done to fix that in case anybody's having that issue. So this polymer frame here, when they make these, you know, they make it through a machine. It's pretty much a cookie cutter polymer frames. They make a bunch of them, right? So there's issues, burrs and stuff that get stuck up onto these polymer frames. It can cause, you know, issues. Of course, you spend the money on a firing arm. You shouldn't have to do this, but it is what it is. So what I noticed, and the same thing with that gunsmith on his, is see this plastic right here on this polymer frame? This was sitting up higher than this metal right here. This black plastic was sitting up higher. I just shined a flashlight. I looked down and I thought, wow, it had burrs and it was sitting up higher. And I thought, man, same thing with his. And so I said, sure enough, I bet you that's the issue. So what he did is he filed his down. Now you got to be careful when you're filing it down. You don't want to hit this metal here, because you put grooves into that metal, then you're going to have other issues. So there's a couple things you can do. You can get some, because you know, you oil your guns up. It's got oil, gun oil on there and stuff like that. So it's going to be greasy. And so what I did is I got some alcohol and I cleaned this just like this. All this metal, and back here also. Cleaned all this metal really good. Then I put some blue painter's tape on this metal right here. And then I started filing it down with a little file, or I cut out some really, I'm not sure what grit this is. You don't want a strong grit sandpaper. This is same grit as like a file. So what I did is I started filing that down, and it was getting tough and it was hard. So then I found this little blade, X-Acto knife, and this worked a lot better. So what you do is you get a sharp blade from your hobby store, Hobby Lobby or Walmart or anything like that. And is what you do is you run this blade along this metal. And then right away when this plastic is raised, you're going to hit that plastic, right? And this blade, a brand new one, you want a new one. You don't want to use one. And you want a little X-Acto knife just like this. You don't want a big old razor blade. So take the time, spend the money, and go buy a a blade. This is like a number 2 blade. So anyways, you run it through here, and is what that does is it catches that raised plastic, and you just keep going all the way across, and you start shaving off that plastic. Just shaving it off. Okay, same thing over here. You turn it around, you run across that metal, shave off that plastic right there, all the way across. Then back here, same thing. You run across this metal, you shave off that plastic, and then the last side right here. Run across here, shave off that plastic. And then after that, you can sand it with really thin grit sandpaper. Just file that down, or get a file and file it down. Again, you have to be careful with this metal. You do not want to file that metal and put grooves in it. And if you do accidentally, you can get a Dremel and just polish that down. But anyways, that's what I did. And after that, just oil it back up. Okay. And then the other thing that he had mentioned, and I have not done yet, because I'm going to see if this works. And if it doesn't, then I'm going to do this. Because it didn't have a failure to feed the ammo at all. But what he did is he polished this right here. This feeding ramp with a Dremel, he just polished it really nice up into here. Okay, you don't want to go way down in there in the barrel, but you just polish that feeding ramp. But again, mine didn't have any issues, failure to feed at all. It was just getting hung up there. So that's why I haven't messed with this. The other thing is the ejector mechanism. He took it apart and he said he had some burrs on there. It's this little guy right here that I'm touching. That ejector mechanism, that's what catches the ammo, the shell. And when the slide goes back, it ejects it out of there. So he took off some burrs there. I don't see any burrs on mine, so I didn't have any issues with it ejecting the ammunition. And like I said, I didn't have any issues with it feeding the ammo. So that's why I didn't polish that ejector mechanism or the feeding ramp at all. So let me put this back together real quick. Show you guys how to put the pistol back together. You just, let's see here. Okay, here we go. I had it backwards, I think. So you just go here, got to make sure it's in there, and then it locks right there, okay? So this is all the stuff right there, the Q-tip, the file, if you need extra sandpaper, the blade, that's everything that I used, okay? Then what you want to do is you want to oil all this again, okay? Oil all that where it slides, not too much. You don't want too much oil, because then all that gunpowder starts sticking to it, and then you can have other issues. But that's what you want to do. And then when you put this back together, you just line everything up right here, okay? And then you just pull it back, lock it, nothing's there, okay? Slide release works, lock it again, pull the slide back, and good to go. Okay, so it shouldn't get hung up anymore right here, like I was showing you at the beginning. So that's what you want to do if you have issues with this going into battery mode, meaning it chambers around, but it's just a dead trigger. When you pull the trigger, nothing happens, then the slide moves forward. Hope you guys like this video. Please give me a thumbs up, subscribe. I've got other videos out there. I'm going to do a video on a review and an unboxing of this exact gun here soon. So I hope you guys liked the video. I appreciate you giving me the time, watching my video. You know, give me a thumbs up. God bless, and you guys have a great Memorial Day.